less successful son a higher share of my assets?
I have 2 children, Benjamin and Jack. Jack is in a good place in his life. He has a good job with a senior position in his industry, a long-term fiancé, a wide circle of friends, and whilst they're still renting, they're both currently saving for a house deposit. Benji, on the other hand, despite being the oldest, has not done as well in life. Benji has never had a girlfriend or a boyfriend, and has no friends that he visits. He did give university a try, but left both times in his first year due to anxiety. Today he chooses not to work. Benji and I have been living alone together for the last 6 years now, and I support him financially. I know that the situation is not ideal, however I've long since come to terms with the fact that Benji is a square peg trying to fit into a world of round holes, and as I'm getting older, I'm happy for his company. It's an arrangement that suits us both. I'm starting to get on in years, and recently my thoughts have turned to my children and what they will do after I'm gone. A few months ago I decided to update my will, and asked Jack for a meeting to address the changes. I let him know that in my updated will, almost all of my assets, both cash and property, will go to Benji. However, I'll be giving him a cash amount to help with his house deposit. My reasoning for this is that I know full well Jack is capable of looking after himself after I am gone, but without assistance Benji will always struggle. He is simply never going to have what Jack has. Jack did not take kindly to the news. He said that I'm effectively punishing him for having succeeded in life, where his brother has been allowed to not try and fail his entire life, and is now being rewarded for choosing to remain a NEET, so he can suckle on mama's teat. He said some more unkind things about his brother, and at that stage, I said that it was better that he leave until he could calm himself down. On the way out the door he told me that this was not about money or assets, but was yet another instance of me favoring and coddling Benji the way I have done his entire life, and claimed we were in an emotionally incestuous relationship. I told him to get out. This all went down 3 months ago, and since then, Jack will no longer accept my calls. He ignored my 66th birthday outright, not even a card, and at this stage I am not expecting to see him at all for Christmas, so it's going to be just me and Benji as usual. Other family members have since become aware of the drama and are telling me that my decision is wrong, and that by doing this, I am driving a wedge further between Jack and Benji when their relationship is already strained. Am I the asshole for my decision? I love both my children equally. But I can't go to my grave knowing that Benji will be out on the streets suffering without me. I know that Jack will never have to struggle in the same way Benji has, so I don't know why he even needs the money in the first place. I am frankly disgusted by his greed and lack of concern for his brother's future.
My wife left me for another man, and after he got her pregnant, he left her. 9 months later, she showed up at my door.
So my wife and I were married for 6 years and together for 9 when she left me. We were high school sweethearts, and I thought we had an amazing relationship. We were one of those couples that everyone was jealous of. I was head over heels for her, and I thought she was for me too. We had always talked about having a family, and for the first 3 years of our marriage, we were actively trying. However, we found out that I was infertile and we were devastated. It sent my wife into a depression, and for a while, I thought our marriage was going to fail. It was a really rough time for us. However, we eventually came to the decision that we would try to save up for in vitro fertilization, and that if that didn't work, we would look into other options. So we spent the next 2 years saving up every penny we could. It was hard, but we both really wanted children. I thought we were doing really well, and I thought that our marriage was stronger than ever. We finally had enough money to undergo the procedure, and we were just about to make an appointment, when my wife told me that she was having second thoughts. She said that she was worried that she would not be able to love a non-biological child as much as a biological one. I told her that I understood her concerns, but that I thought we should try anyways. She said she needed time to think about it. A few weeks later, she told me that she had made up her mind, and that she did not want to go through with IVF. I was very disappointed, but I told her that I loved her and that I would support her in whatever she wanted to do. I told her that we could look into other options. However, she said that she had actually made up her mind about something else. She said that she had been seeing someone else for a few months and that she was in love with him. She said that she was moving in with him. I was completely blindsided. There had been no signs of this at all. I was completely devastated. I begged her to reconsider, but she said that her mind was made up. She left, and that was the last time I ever saw her. I was a complete wreck for a long time. I had no idea that anything was wrong in our marriage, and I had no idea that she was seeing someone else. I was in a very dark place for a long time, and I thought about ending things. However, I eventually sought therapy, and with the help of a therapist, I was able to work through my feelings and get to a better place. I was able to move on, and I eventually started dating again. However, I still thought about my ex-wife from time to time, and I always wondered what had happened to her. I had no way of contacting her, as she had changed her phone number and all of her social media accounts. So I was completely shocked when, 3 years after she left me, she showed up at my door. At first, I thought she was there to apologize for what she had done to me, but then I saw that she was holding a baby. She said that she needed to talk to me. She had a baby from him and he dumped her after she gave birth. She is begging me to take her back and I don't know what to do.
Revenge affair.
So, I found out about 5 months ago that my wife was having an emotional affair. I was not able to get evidence of anything physical, nor will she admit to that. However, this is not her first affair and the others have been sexual. To me, for the last 15 years, I have been the only one to stay loyal and faithful.
By the end of this, you are going to be crying like a little bitch.
So here recently, like the last few weeks, I have been talking to someone who understands what I am going through because she has been through the same thing. It started as just needing someone to talk to so that I didn't go insane. We talk all the time now. A few days ago, she floated the idea that maybe I should give my wife a taste of her own medicine, that I should have some fun for once and see how she likes being cheated on. Now that she has said this, all the signs have clicked into place. All of the offhand comments she has made to me make sense now, and I believe that she wants to be the one that I get revenge on my wife with. Now, I am forced to admit that I find the idea intriguing. I have thought about it all the time over the last few days. I find myself thinking about what it would be like to make love to her and then tell my wife. I have even fantasized about recording it and letting my wife see it, without her retaining a copy of the video to replay later in court. I am not that stupid. This line of thought both excites me and frightens me. I find myself being drawn closer to the idea, yet my conscience keeps telling me that it is not right. That no matter what she has done, I cannot let myself stoop to that level and dishonor myself that way. That I should never want to inflict that kind of pain on my wife even though she has done it to me on multiple occasions. My wife says that she wants to fix things and change her ways. To her credit, she genuinely seems to regret what she has done. But she also showed regret after the first 2 affairs in our marriage. I also continue to find things that she lied to me about or hid from me, albeit they were all things from before I discovered the affair, nothing since then. Should I cut loose for once in my life and do what feels good, or should I stay the course and not give in to this desire? Do I give her a taste of her own medicine, or do I keep to the high ground? By the way, this is not a should I leave or should I stay post. I am weighing my options and discussing things with my wife. She is well aware that I have not decided whether or not I will stay with her. This is a moral question of an eye for an eye versus turn the other cheek. So, I did withhold a piece of information on this story because I wanted to get most people's honest responses about the situation without taking into account this one sensational piece of info. So, the woman that I have been talking to, who is encouraging me to have the revenge affair and hinting that she wants to be that partner, she doesn't know who my wife is or who my wife's affair partner is. The truth is that this woman is the mother of my wife's affair partner. Her son is the one that was having an affair with my wife. So when I say revenge affair, it is against not just my wife, but against her affair partner as well. Yes, I sought her out to befriend her so that I could eventually reveal to her that her son was the piece of shit that helped my wife do this. No, I had no intentions of developing anything more than a friendship. Yes, the revenge affair as well as the hints to it being her has been entirely her idea. She sent me nudes and I have to say that I know why my wife's affair partner's dad died. He fucked himself to death being married to her. Thoughts on this new piece of info? I didn't go through with it. I talked to the other person and explained my concerns. I told her that I really wasn't built that way to stoop to violating my own principles. I guess she didn't like that. She ghosted me and hasn't answered any more of my texts for the last 4 days. Suffice it to say, that avenue is closed. I didn't reveal that her son was my wife's affair partner. I just didn't want to ruin her image of her son. It isn't her fault that her son is a piece of shit homewrecker. She already has to deal with him being a criminal and a druggie. Why pile on? As for my wife, it has been since the beginning of August that I gave her a list of things to do before I would even consider reconciliation. I gave her a deadline of January 1st to complete the list. As of yet, there are 2 items left. They are the biggest items on the list. I am not confident that she can make the deadline. I have told her that the deadline will not be moved. She either does what I have asked by the 1st of the year, or I will not be willing to even try to reconcile. She has a week and a half. I will do her the courtesy of allowing her to have the full amount of time until the deadline passes. After that, she will have shown me that she can change and do right by finishing the list, or we will be getting divorced. I set the deadline for the 1st of the year as I am not heartless and don't want this to blow up during the holidays.